Hey everybody, welcome to the shop. Today we're outside working on some carvings. If you read the title, maybe you've already got an idea what this video is going to be about. Today we're going to be talking about what to do with all that scrap wood. You know, if you're a chainsaw carver just starting out, you've probably done what I've done and gotten rid of all your scrap wood. You know, you just toss it out or burn it or something else, but what else could you do with it? Stay tuned, let's find out. Alright, so all that scrap wood that you're burning and throwing in the trash, what can you do with it? Carve it. Make money with it. You're not going to make a ton of money like some of your bigger carvings and all the stuff that the scrap wood came from, but you could still make some money. These would be like your bread and butter, easy money sales. You know, you're talking like your $15, $20, $30, $40 sales even, depending on the size of the piece. Oh, how do you do this? What am I talking about? All right, well, if you're carving, you've already got the ideas and you're already making some stuff, and maybe you're fine-tuning what you're doing and you're throwing out that scrap wood. Do you do welcome signs? Scrap piece right here, just a scrap cut, carve welcome into it. It's a sign. Somebody will buy it or stuff it in one of your bears. There's a sign done. Wedge cuts. You know, you do a big carving, you cut this wedge off. You got a good size, carve something into it. Welcome. I use a chainsaw, and I use some die grinders with some of my saber tooth bits to clean it up. We'll go over that stuff in a minute, though. I'll show you guys some of the tools I use to turn junk scrap wood into money-making pieces. But first, how about I grab a couple pieces that are done, and you guys can get a better idea of what I'm talking about. Here's one of these pieces I'm talking about. You got welcome, you got some bear paws in there. You know, these are one of those easy money-making pieces. This will probably sell, I don't know, probably might put 30, 40 bucks on it. It's kind of gonna depend on where you're at, and you know, if you're selling on your own or if you're at a craft fair or doing an event, you know, all those things come into factor as to what you could sell things for. It depends on size and detail and time and you know that general stuff. If you're already carving, you kind of know what I'm talking about. So scrap wood is money-making wood. Don't burn it all. A lot of it's burnable, obviously, but when you got considerable pieces that you're just throwing away, think of it as throwing money away. Really, because they can be making you that easy pocket cash. I mean, quick money. What else? Well, I've got these little trees from some corner cuts that I did. Okay? We got some deer tracks in the bottom of this one, deer paw in this one. Knock these things out pretty quick. I mean, I don't do a whole lot to them. I take my angle grinder with one of my saber tooth heads on it, right here. If you're going to use one of these, be careful because this will rip your finger off if you're not paying attention. Come in here at an angle, make some sweeping marks for your tree limbs. Done. Take another tool and cut out your tracks. I mean, easy stuff. A little bit of spray paint on there. That's it. All right, so we're looking at these. We got these tracks. We've got some lettering in here. How do we paint the tracks and lettering? Again, easy stuff. Spray it with some black paint, sand it off. As long as you've carved your tracks in deep enough, they should stay. Another way to do it is carve the tracks out and use an airbrush like I do. I use an airbrush a lot, so when I have it out, I just airbrush my tracks, and I hit this lightly with some 80 grit on an angle grinder. Takes away any overspray, and you're done. So, you know, something like these guys, 15, 20 bucks, 10, I don't know, something cheap. Another scrap piece. This was just a block, square block left over from, I don't know, some carving, and I just knocked a little bird out. Still needs a little bit of work done before he's complete, but you know, it's gonna be a little blue jay. Somebody will buy it. Be an easy 30 bucks. You know, and again, here's another angle cut. Just some tracks on it. So these are just a few items that you can be making yourself with your scrap wood. I don't put the real expensive finish on it. You know, these are just quick, easy, get them out the door. Now, you might spend a whole day making a ton of these, but when you're done, you should have made a lot. So you've made your day's worth of pay. How do you go about carving some of these, and how do you go about getting the patterns? Study them. Go online, look up bear tracks and deer tracks and those sorts of things. Start sketching them out on paper and get used to doing that. And then what I like to do is I grab myself a carpenter pencil, grab a piece of wood, and once you've studied and practiced it, just draw it on real quick. This is just going to give me a rough idea of what's going to fit on that scrap piece, where I want it to be all laid out. You know, sometimes I can't fit welcome on there the way I want, so it's going to be some bear tracks or some deer tracks or just something real simple. Once you've done that, then you're going to go ahead and grab your die grinder. Now, if you could put welcome on there and it's a considerable size, just use your dime tip bar and lightly carve welcome into the wood. Once that's done, you can grab your die grinder with one of these, like a teardrop bit, flame bit. You can find this right at sabertooth.com though, and I use this for my lettering. Go back over where I carved with the chainsaw and clean it up. Now you can also use this for the claws. You do the claws and the angles and all that. When I get down to doing the pads for the bear toes and the bottom of their foot here, use this ball right here. Again, Sabertooth Tools. You can find all this stuff online there. Let me get my safety gear on and we'll go through and we'll carve one up together here real quick. So the first thing you want to do is, you know, get your safety gear together, get that on. Get all your pieces in a pile. The goal is to knock a whole bunch of these out, so just have them there and have them ready. What I want to do is start off with the angle grinder. Whether you're using a flap disc or you're using like a Sabertooth kind of disc, it doesn't matter. What you want to do though is clean this all up. Have a pretty smooth surface here for you to draw on and work with. I sketched some bear paws on here real quick, but we're going to clean this up. I'll show you guys here what I mean. You also want to hit your edges so you don't have a lot of stray spiky edges that somebody could get a sliver from. So clean the piece up. Turn on my angle grinder. We'll do that real quick. Alright, so we got this piece all cleaned up. Real quick, real easy. Don't want to spend a lot of time on this. So this is sanded fairly smooth. We're not looking for perfection here. This little sign is just going to get some bear tracks on it. Give it a quick wipe down, grab the pencil, figure out what you want to do. Just drawing some tracks on here real quick. This is just a rough pattern for me. You know, this is more than likely this won't be exact. There's one. I'm gonna do just one more, I guess. Kind of get it over here some more. Gonna grab this 5/8 ball that's on my die grinder here. This is coarse grit. I think they've got fine, coarse, and heavy coarse or extra coarse. Green bits are the coarse. That's what I like to use. So we're gonna grab that ball right there though and cut out where the pads are going to be and do the toes. Alright, so I put the camera on high speed, but I really didn't need to because that was actually really fast. Just follow your pattern with that 5/8 ball and you're good. So next is going to be the teardrop or the flame bit here, and we're going to do the claws. I'll leave this in regular speed so you guys can see that. Alright, so there you have it. One of them all carved out. Now, like I said, I normally use my airbrush to paint these, but I got a little bit of paint over here, so I'll spray one down real quick. We'll sand it off and we'll see how that looks. Well, not a whole ton of time picking out paint. We just got some black paint right here. Just gonna keep it real close. Just kind of spray where I carved. This is where I prefer the airbrush. There's not as much sanding and cleanup, but I know a lot of you might not have an airbrush, or just be set up for that. So I figure a lot of people are just using spray paint on stuff. Now, a few I showed you earlier, I had burnt the wood and put the tracks in. It does make the tracks harder to see, so I won't be doing too many like that. People seem to like them just the tracks and just the bare wood. So that's that. You gotta let that paint dry before you sand it, otherwise your paint will just be full of sawdust. It'll stick to everything. So I'm gonna put this in the sun. Be right back in a couple minutes. Here are the bare tracks. The paint's dry. I'm gonna take my angle grinder with just my flat disc sander on there. It's got 80 grit, and take away the overspray. Try not to hit the center of your pad here, and be careful to not sand all your tracks all the way off. As you guys can see, real time, that's just quick, easy stuff. This whole thing is really just, it's easy stuff. That's it, done. Piece like this, I don't know, 25 bucks, 20. Somebody's gonna fall in love and they'll take it home. So this is what you guys should be doing with your scrap wood. Quick and easy money. Stop throwing all of it away. Set some of it aside. Take a few hours or a whole day and just make yourself some easy cash, easy craft fair sale kind of items. Well, that's all I've got for today. Just wanted to show you guys what to do with that scrap wood. Stop throwing it all out. You're throwing away some easy money. I know I've said easy like 1,000 times in this video. Let's add them up together and see how many we got. 1, 2, 3. You add them up. Comment below. We'll see if you really paid attention. Easy, 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 easy. I hope you guys have an awesome day. Be sure to hit subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, check out some new ones popping up all over the place, and I'll see you guys next time.